Hey there, toy collector friends and Batman fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that's the time traveling toy collector, and today we're looking at another entry into the Batman Automobilia collection, which is basically the Eagle Moss Hero Collector range of collectible vehicles that looked at Batmobiles and a range of other vehicles that existed within the DC universe, whether it's print universe, cinematic universe or animated universe. And today we're in the animated universe. This is the Batmobile as it appeared in the animated series. So just before I get the case off and we start having a look at the vehicle, if you could possibly do a like for this video, that would be fantastic. Really helps boost the algorithm of doom, but also if you could possibly spare a click on the subscribe button, it would really help me get to my next subscriber milestone. It's completely free, there's no obligation, you don't have to watch every video, only the things that you find of interest, if anything, which I hope you do, otherwise you're in the wrong place. That would be much appreciated, but if you can't, then that's absolutely fine. I'm just glad you're here for the ride. And talking of the ride, let's take a look at this. So this is, as mentioned, the Batmobile from the animated series. You can see that it has some very nicely recaptured lines from said animated series. I'm leaving the crystal lid on just for now, so we can do a bit of a 360 with it there. You can also see that lenticular backdrop. A nice touch here is that they line up the backdrop, because once I take the lid off you won't be able to see this too well. We try and stop the light bleeding. They line up the backdrop with some pools of light that are drawn onto the base, so it really makes it quite the nice complete presentation diorama. So there we can see all of the thrust there, the wings, the design. I'm going to show you something else about the design of the back there. Let's get this off relatively easily, which is always a blessing, I must say. And the first thing we'll do is take a look at the lenticular background. You can see this is reproduced from the animated series. It is lenticular, so it gives it, you can see there the waves, it's designed to give it a sense of 3D motion. There's not too much happening in this, so there's not a lot of that, but you can sort of, particularly here around this street corner, you get a sense of perspective that is artificially generated due to the lenticular nature of it. And I quite like it because it makes it, as the perspective shifts, those pools of light shift as well. So again, I'm quite a fan of the lenticular backdrops, and I'm really grateful that they do include those. Moving on to the main event itself, here we have the Batmobile from the animated series. As with all of these releases, it is screwed in, so we're not going to be unscrewing it. You can see it's held in safely there. This is a really nice piece. It's a very simplistic design, notably probably because they had to draw it and they had to have the animation model consistent. So I get that, but they have, in realising it into the wonderful world of 3D-ness, it is a lovely model and rendition. The silver highlights are terrific. That sort of long, lugubrious, I can't say that, feel of the vehicle passing by, you can sort of just feel it whooshing past. There's a nice gloss effect to the canopy there, if you can see that. Looks like there's a little mark on the canopy. Let's see if we can, what that is. Obviously, I don't want to make something worse. We also, as you can see, there's those pools of light that are picked up on the base. The base is predominantly, I don't know if it comes across, it's sort of greyish blue, but it's very nice. And we also have, and of course this is going to be ludicrously fragile, we also have a street lamp as part of the diorama. Again, extra attachments to the diorama, to the base rather, are few and far between, but this is one of them, and it's ridiculously fragile. It's not actually pegged in underneath that I can see particularly, it is, but by that I mean screwed in or secured. It's probably a bit of glue holding it in, but it's pretty fragile, so I'm again automatically nervous of even catching it. So let's take a look round the Batmobile. There you can see the rear section. There's the thrust and the vent and the exhaust. these wonderful swooped back wings of the Batmobile, which I think look lovely. They're also echoed on the canopy section, and that raised canopy stays with the design of the Batmobile all the way to the front. At the front you have these wonderful headlights that are sort of visible just below, and here's the second side, which pretty much looks the same as the first. You can see the intake valves there. The thing I want to show you, because there's no obvious bat insignia on this particular iteration of the Batmobile, but if you pull up this way, you can start to see the top end of the Batmobile, or the rear end, depending on your perspective, starts to take on that bat format. You can sort of see the bat symbol, unless it's just me going bonkers. It's not impossible, but you can sort of see that bat signal, bat symbol, formed out of the rear element of the Batmobile, which I think is a really, really nice touch, and lends itself beautifully to the silhouette aspect of this model. So yeah, a big fan of the simplicity of this model, and of course it's iconic from the animated series, so it's a sort of must-have for collectors. And recently somebody commented to say that they'd or sent me a message to say that they'd seen somewhere, I'd completely missed it, that in a leak there is going to be a crossover between Transformers and Batman in terms of there being a Batmobile. And this is one of the ones that they were quite keen on it being, the animated series model, which of course is entirely possible, because I've not seen this particular comment or leak, so I don't know. I can't speak to with any authority around whether it's so. If you know more about it than I, please let me know in the comments down below, because I'm quite excited. Because in terms of Transformers crossovers, they do a lot of crossovers with sort of quite famous other properties, and to me, one of the Batmobiles would be perfectly in scope for them to do a crossover with. My inclination is to think it would probably be one of the more iconic and more widely known Batmobiles, and I'm not suggesting this one isn't, because I think this one absolutely is, and I could see it quite easily becoming lending itself to a Transformer, but I would imagine it would be the sort of 1960s TV series Batmobile, or perhaps the Michael Keaton Batmobile, although this one does of course have lots of sort of design similarities to the Michael Keaton Batmobile. So that said, you know, it's maybe there's scope for more than one Batmobile, but I don't think they do that. And again, it may just be one of those pseudo leaked rumors that aren't actually ever manifested, but I certainly would love to see a Batman Transformers crossover, giving us the Batmobile. You're not gonna stand. You're gonna be awkward, aren't you? You're not gonna give me a nice little lean. Yeah, I'm gonna give up on that. It doesn't want to play. But as you can see, again, this is one of the most, I think, successful of the Eagle Moss ranges, because they have, certainly with the ones that I've looked at so far, not failed to deliver on the design overall. Given the nature of the beast, they're really capturing the aesthetics, and I think we'd be hard pushed to ask for too much more than that. So I, for one, am particularly pleased with how this has turned out. So just remains for me to say thank you very much for sticking around for the last 10 minutes or so. You've been a fantastic audience. As I said, if you could like the video, that would be fantastic. Even more fantastic if you could drop a subscription to the channel. So it helps me get to my next milestone, and certainly helps the channel get noticed. And when it's a small channel like mine, I'm not looking for Patreon subscriptions or anything like that. It just helps boost the channel. I'd be so grateful. What other Batmobiles or Bat vehicles or Batman adjacent vehicles that you're aware of or in the range would you like to see me show off next? Do let me know in the comments down below. I have, as I've mentioned before, pretty much all of them, so it's absolutely no problem for me to change my loosely planned filming order for these. But let me know and I'll dig it out. I also have, I think, all of the special edition releases, so if you're looking for one of the more larger releases as well, then again, by all means, let me know. So just remains for me to thank you again. I've been the Triple TC, that's the Time Travelling Toy Collector. You've been magnificent, and this has been the Batmobile from the Eaglemoss Batman Automobilia range, in this instance from the animated series. I'll be back real soon with another video. You take care, and it just remains for me to say that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. Bye-bye for now.